BluePrint Pro Wrestling. Getting some fruit in after the match. That's right. Get the fruit in.
Stay healthy, stay healthy.
That's right. Eat smart, eat wise. Maxx Stardom here at BluePrint Pro Wrestling here at Deerfield Beach, DS SportsPlex, South Florida. Mr. 305, the new Mr. 305.
That's right. No pitbull, not pitbull.
WWE was in town, Miami for Raw, then they were in Tampa for SmackDown Live. Some big things happened for you up at the Tampa SmackDown Live event. Tell us what happened up there for you.
Well, I got the email for extra talent for WWE, and I spent Monday Night Raw on the American Airlines right at home, blocks away from my house. It was a great experience. I met great guys, saw great old friends, you know. And here comes SmackDown rolling by. SmackDown, usually the extras have a tryout at a certain time in the afternoon, and I got in the ring with one of the guys. Did like a 4 to 5 minute match, and I did what I can. The boys were impressed, and they had a spot in 205 Live, and I took it. And, they gave it to me, and I got to work with one of my good friends, Lio Rush. So it was an experience that I can't even describe to this day. Like, I'm still humbled by it. Being able to go on WWE Network and seeing me. One thing is on NXT, another thing is on 205 Live in a big arena, in a SmackDown arena. It's something that I've always wanted since I was a kid. So it's a feeling that to this day I'm still in shock, and I love it. I want to go back already.
What was that trial match like, too? Because you're doing that, and you have all these officials and wrestlers.
Right.
And
again, we're talking about a tryout match, not in front of a crowd, not in front of fans. You're talking about a match in front of wrestlers, in front of guys that are already signed by WWE, agents,
trainers,
referees, trainers. Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis are watching from the screen in the locker room. So it's a lot of pressure, that you have this big arena empty. Everybody's around the ring, so it's you watch your every move, you watch your every step, make it count, make it worth something. And it was a lot of nerve-wracking. As soon as I was in the ring, my nerves leave because I've been doing it for so long that I'm just in there. But as soon as I'm not gonna even lie, as soon as it ended and the reaction that I kept seeing from the guys when I was moving around and getting that little small clap and appreciation, like, oh man, this guy did something. I sat down next to the ring, and then they called me for a match. Nobody knows this, but my eyes got watery because I was like, damn, I'm not I've come a long way. You get to appreciate your own art, and it's humble. I've humbled myself. I've always thought I was pretty good, and I worked to be good, but hard work pays off. And when you feel it, when like, damn, I didn't do these 10 years for no reason. Now this is what it's about. I'm here, and like even after the match that I did with Lio Rush, I went to the locker room, and it was late. 205 Live is recorded after SmackDown, so a bunch of the boys had already left. So I found myself in the locker room when the lights were like dimmed, and I found myself alone, taking off my gear, putting on my suit, and I started crying. And nobody knows this. I was by myself, but I started crying. I was like, that was it. I was in there, and I was like, damn, now I gotta go back home.
But you're in there, and you held your own.
And I held my own. Yeah, I made an impression on a lot of people. My Instagram, my Facebook, the internet, my Twitter, everything went berserk. And this is what I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be somebody. I've always wanted to be on TV, to be bigger than life, and I'm getting to do it now, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
How did you calm yourself with the tryout, and then also in front of the live crowd then, which is huge?
The live crowd doesn't bother me as much, to be honest. I've never been scared to be in front of people. When I was in school, I always presented in front of the whole class. Like, I was never shy. But so when I was in front of the live crowd, I can block them. At the same time, I know they're there, but they fuel me. But when I was in the tryout match, being in front of the boys, that's what made me nervous. To be honest, my body was overheating. I thought I was sick in the middle, like right before and right after my tryout match. But I just kept reminding myself of how bad I wanted to be there, and how bad I just kept breathing in through my nose, out through my mouth, and be like, hey, this is what you want. Like, don't mess it up yourself. Calm yourself down, man. You're here. Everybody is back at home. There's 10 of you there, and you're one of them. And out of 10 of you, you're going to be it. You have to be it. You know that you're it. You know that you got the look. You know you got this. Relax and just go in there and do what you do best. And thank God it worked. And I made it happen. So,
Max, I know there's people, but when you're thinking about it, who are some of the people you thank to be able to get that opportunity over the years to be able to do that?
Oh man, there's just so many people. But
There are, right? All the different groups.
on top of my head, I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom. My mom, it's a very old school Cuban lady, so she didn't believe in me becoming a pro wrestler or getting tattoos or doing anything physical. But she supported me no matter what, you know. She would always buy me wrestling toys, wrestling rings, wrestling shirts, and she took me to any wrestling event I can. And when I first started wrestling, she bought me my first pair of tights from eBay. So she's definitely my biggest supporter. My uncle was always there for me. My grandfather, rest in peace. As much as he, oh man, wrestling, I'd rather watch boxing, but he put it on TV and he didn't mind watching it with me. One of my good friends, Hector Pico, he took me to my first indie show, Ring of Honor. He used to bring me Ring of Honor DVDs, and he said, look man, there's a certain side of pro wrestling that you've never known, which is the indies. I didn't know that existed. I just knew it was WWE. So he brought me DVDs, and he was the one that introduced me to indie wrestling. Because of him, I found out of wrestling school, which was Rusty Brooks, and because of him, I became a pro wrestler. So Hector's one of my biggest inspirations to becoming a pro wrestler. So those are the, Rusty Brooks, of course, my trainer. Alex G, which had a lot to do with my training. Pablo Marquez and Chasen Rance helped me a little bit too. I mean, those are the
ones that think of now. But
one that I could really, two people that I cannot forget is George Portuondo from ICW. He was a promoter from ICW. He was the first one to ever book me in any show. You also have Fabulous Frank. When he used to run D1PW, he was the first guy that ever booked me in an indie show. And of course, my old partner Michael Mannix. You know, he was always there for me. He still is there for me. He was texting me when I was in the locker room in SmackDown, but he's always pushed me to better myself. Even though he's not here with me anymore, but that's a group. That's a good group of people there.
Michael Mannix is all about the you.
All about the you.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
And lastly, when you're going through that at SmackDown Live, and you're getting ready for your spot, which isn't until after the show, you're getting yourself ready. Are you able to watch any of the show? Yes.
I mean, you have 2 hours of SmackDown. And then right around 9:45, almost 10 o'clock, that's when you got to get ready for 205. So I sat at catering. They got catering, and then they have the little room with the TV. You can watch the show. So I watched pretty much the whole SmackDown. Got to relax, but your anxiety is, my anxiety was through the roof, so I just wanted to get it done. I was like, come on, I just want to go out there, And then I at no minute went through that curtain. I was always in the locker room. And the minute that it was time for me, I'll never forget, SmackDown had just finished. And I was right when this tunnel that they had created to the Gorilla. And I was, Lindsay Dorado, another good friend of mine, was there. So he gave me a little rope to warm up so I could look pumped for the match. And I never forget this moment, but like I saw these three big gentlemen walking through the hallway to go to the locker room, and it was Vince McMahon, and I never forget that because I was able to you never see this guy. This guy has his own locker room, so he came out and I put my thing down. I was like, "Sir, how you doing?" Ricky Martinez, and he was like, "Vince McMahon, nice to meet you." So he stopped everything he was doing just to shake my hand, and that was a dream come true. And right after that, they were like, "Hey, come on, you're up next," and that's it, just like that. I was in and out.
That's just awesome. Awesome time for you, and bigger and better on the horizon as well.
Absolutely. There's only one way up, and that's all the way up now.
Social media for you?
Instagram, Maxx Stardom, Facebook, Maxx Stardom, and Twitter, Maxx Stardom.
And it's Max, M-A-X-X.
M-A-X-X.
That's
2X.
Right. There you go. Thank you so much, Max.
No, thank you for always.